You go from playing full-time to pretty much transitioning full-time into business. How about the biggest challenge associated with doing that?
When I stopped playing was in 2008, and things were great, and then all of a sudden when I stopped, it was like economic crash. At that time, I'd been #1 in the world. I was feeling very confident in my game. I felt very confident in the things that we were doing. It was designing golf courses. We had a golf academy. It was a foundation. At the time, we had a high-end wine, clothing, and a few things. And it was just, you got this, crash, and it was like nobody was going anywhere. Nobody was purchasing anything. You just kind of have to adjust, and you have to move forward and think, okay, what do I do here? I mean, it's like playing golf on a rainy day, and you just can't walk off the golf course, right? But there's a lot of things that golf has taught me. I mean, certainly the patience and determination and being focused, and a lot of those things I'm very grateful for that I was able to use in the building of the Annika brand. Tiger Woods told me this once time too, is you do less to get more. I mean, that was his thing, and I felt like I do a lot for less. And that's kind of how I summarized it. But it was just looking at your time and say, what's important to you? What do you enjoy doing? And I'm not just talking about money. It's more about the reward, the satisfaction, the enjoyment, the things that you do in life, and then taking one step at a time. And first I had this grand plan of this, and then you realize, well, maybe okay, the grand plan is over here, but let's start with the small plans. How do you get there? And you're getting satisfaction and enjoyment and results in a shorter period of time. So I think that just kept the energy going, and people was more excited about saying, hey, we're making progress. We're not all the way there, but hey, step by step.
Long-term goals on your guys' end with the business would be what?
We want to, I could see maybe get back into the wine space at some point, or a drink, sparkling drink or something. Maybe something in areas of cooking, any of our passions. But we're really focused on the foundation now and providing opportunities for junior girls around the world. We'd like to expand foundation events, maybe add a few in the future, maybe United Arab Emirates over there somewhere. We've talked to Abu Dhabi a little bit, and just we want to get the whole world covered.
I mean, today we have over 600 girls every year that participate in our events. We have 7 global tournaments. So, fast forward, 5 years from now, we'd like to say that we have, 1,000 girls, 1,200 girls, 1,500 girls. So we can increase by that, and the different initiatives that we do, and we can talk about girls that have played in our events that are now professionals. And as far as, designing golf courses, I like to be able to do more of that. I like to share, the passion that I have for that around the world, and kind of spread it out and not just be, in Asia. A lot of it has been in Asia. I love working with these young girls and be able to see them and see how they grow and just kind of watch them mature. It's been really fun for me.
What's the most satisfying part of that?
I think be able to share my experiences, be able to share my knowledge and help them along the way, where they might be at a crossroad, or they feel maybe down on their game and feel like, well, I'm not getting anywhere, what can I do? So to lift their spirit, to help them move on their journey and fulfill their dreams. I think it's just, you can't really put a price tag on that, because it warms my heart to see them to go there, talk real stuff and talk seriously. So I think one of the stories that touches my heart the most is we had a young lady from South Africa. We invited her to play an Annika Invitational, and she played really well that week. And we had over 30 coaches, college coaches, to watch. And she ended up losing in a playoff, but she walked away with a bigger smile because she got a scholarship. I remember telling Mike, I said, this is why we do this, for these young girls to get this opportunity to be able to come to this great country and live your dream, which is kind of really what I'm doing.
How do they view her?
I think she inspires them. I think they view her as an idol. She's reinventing herself to the young generation through our foundation, and they see that and they appreciate that. This logo, nobody would have known 10 years ago, but these girls know that, and I love it. When events start out, the new girls that maybe hadn't played one of our events before, they're very quiet, and they just kind of stare at her, and they're shy, and they don't ask questions, and literally at the end of the week, it's selfie, arm around, swarming her, videos and everything, and it's really cool to see.
How did the idea for the invitationals come about in the first place?
The invitational idea started probably the end of 2007 when we had, discussions about foundation, and also just knowing that I had been in their shoes not too long ago. So and now 15 years forward, how can I now get back to the game and grow the game? So we tried it out, 13 years ago. Just, it was such a success. We had several different countries represented, and we started one in China because I designed a golf course just outside Hong Kong. And then Europe came, and so, here we are. I mean, when we had our tournament in Argentina 5 years ago, there hadn't been an invitational girls-only tournament. To me, that's been such a huge thing that we have done to really, increase golf participation at grassroots level at these countries, because they have girls playing in our tournaments. So it's a trickle-down effect, and we actually have college coaches now recruiting in Latin America because of this.
Course design.
Yeah.
You and Jack Nicklaus teamed up for a course bid for the Rio Olympics. You worked with Arnold Palmer way back when on co-designing a course. How about lessons learned from those experiences?
Mm-hmm. I love cooperating and learning from successful people that have kind of taken the path before. And with Mr. Nicklaus, it's like at the time the greatest player ever. It was just, I felt like, where do I belong here? And, I'm this young girl. Yeah, I mean, I've had won some majors, but still, I mean, Jack is Jack. But I remember, just sitting down and talking and just listening. I mean, I was in a listening mode. And then he would say, what do you think, Annika? Just in front of these. And I would just kind of share my thoughts on, from my perspective, of course, as a female and being from another country and my perspective, and he listened, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then I had some thoughts, and he got out his pen, and he was like, he was literally erasing what he had and put in my thoughts. And I said, this guy's, pretty cool, even though, he has so much knowledge, but he listened to me. And when I worked with Mr. Palmer, it was, a different type of personality. Obviously he was older, and this was more of a redesign. He talked a lot about growing the game. He talked a lot about, this family and enjoyment, and I love it. I love working with them, and I mean, for me, it's just about getting to know it from another perspective too, and not think that you know everything.